You are 7 years old, and your father is counting coins on a wooden table. He won't look at you. Your mother is crying in the corner, but quietly, because even grief in your household must be polite. A man in silk robes stands in the doorway. He works for the imperial palace. He's here to take you, not because you've done something wrong, but because you were born with a face that someone, somewhere, decided was worth something. Your mother reaches for your hand one last time. Your father finally looks up. He says nothing. The man in silk places his hand on your shoulder and guides you toward a cart outside. You don't scream. You don't understand enough to scream. You just watch your village get smaller and smaller behind you until there's nothing left but dust and silence. Somewhere behind you, a dog barks. It's the last familiar sound you'll ever hear. You arrive at the imperial palace 3 weeks later, and the first thing you learn is that you are no one. Whatever name your parents gave you, forget it. You are assigned a number. You sleep in a long room with 40 other girls, most of them just as confused as you. Some are younger. Some are already crying themselves to sleep on the first night. You will learn not to cry, not because you become brave, but because tears here are a weakness, and weakness gets you erased. By age 9, your training begins. You are taught how to walk, not the way you walked through rice paddies back home, but a specific, precise glide, each step no wider than 3 inches. You are taught how to pour tea so that the sound of the liquid is the only thing heard in the room. You learn calligraphy. You learn to play the pipa, a 4-stringed instrument, until your fingers crack and bleed, and then heal and crack again. You are taught poetry, not because anyone cares what you think, but because the emperor might one day ask you to recite something, and you must be ready. Every single thing you learn has one purpose: to be pleasant, to be useful, to be chosen. There's an older woman who oversees your training. She was once a concubine herself, never chosen, never promoted, and now reassigned to shape the next generation. She corrects your posture with a bamboo rod across the back. She makes you kneel on stone floors for hours if your pipa playing displeases her. One night, after she strikes a girl so hard the sound echoes through the hall, you catch something in her eyes. It isn't cruelty, it's recognition. She sees herself in every single one of you, and she hates it. She is showing you what this place does to a person. You just don't understand that yet. You are 12 now, and the selection process begins. Hundreds of girls line up in a courtyard. Imperial officials walk slowly past each one. They examine your teeth. They smell your skin. They study your posture and the way you stand. A woman pinches your cheek so hard it bruises, and then writes something on a scroll. You pass the first round, then the second, then the third. Each round, girls disappear. They are sent home, or sent to serve lesser officials, or simply sent away to places nobody talks about. You survive every cut. You're not sure if that makes you lucky or cursed. By 14, you are officially registered as a concubine of the lowest rank. The imperial harem is a city within a city. Thousands of women living behind walls they will never leave. There is a hierarchy here more brutal than anything you've seen. At the top sits the empress. Below her, consorts and noble ladies. Below them, concubines of various ranks. And at the very bottom, you. You share a small room with 3 other girls. You eat after everyone else eats. You wear what you are given, and you wait. That is your primary function now. Waiting to be noticed. Waiting for a chance that may never come. One of the girls in your room, her name is Leon, though you're not supposed to use real names, becomes something close to a friend. You whispered to each other after the lanterns go out. She tells you about her village, about a boy she liked, about the river where she used to catch fish with her bare hands. For a few weeks, it almost feels human in here. Then one morning, Leon is transferred to another wing. No explanation, no goodbye. You hear later that she was assigned to a visiting diplomat as a gift, a human being wrapped in silk and handed over like a jar of honey. You never hear her name again, and you stop making friends. Years pass. You learn the real rules, not the ones they taught you in training, the unspoken ones. Trust no one. Every woman in this palace is your competitor. The girl who braids your hair at night would poison your tea in the morning if it meant moving up one rank. Alliances are temporary. Smiles are performances. You watch a concubine 2 rooms down get accused of practicing dark magic against the empress. You know it's a lie. Everyone knows it's a lie. She's dragged away at dawn. You never see her again. No one mentions her name after that. That's how it works here. People don't die. They simply stop existing. You develop a habit. Every morning before anyone wakes, you walk to a small pond in the eastern courtyard. You stare at your reflection, not out of vanity, but to remind yourself that you're still there, that your face still belongs to you. It's a small, foolish ritual, but in a place that strips everything from you, your name, your choices, your body. A moment of solitude feels like rebellion. You're 19, and one evening, a eunuch appears appears at your door. He tells you to prepare yourself. Tonight, the emperor has chosen you. Your hands tremble as the other girls dress you in silk and paint your face. They smile, but their eyes are empty. You are carried to the emperor's chamber on the back of a eunuch because your feet must not touch the ground. The room is enormous and smells of sandalwood. The emperor barely looks at you. He is tired. He is old. You are one of hundreds. The night passes. In the morning, you are carried back. A court physician examines you and records the date. Everything about your body now belongs to the state. If you are fortunate or perhaps unfortunate, you become pregnant. A child changes everything. A son especially. A son means you climb the ranks. A son means better food, a larger room, servants of your own. But a son also means you become a target. The other concubines watch you now with something sharper than jealousy. You taste every meal carefully. You trust no one near your child. You sleep with one eye open because history is full of concubines whose children simply stop breathing in the night and nobody ever proved a thing. Motherhood here is not warmth. It is a siege. There's one woman, a consort of the second rank, who sends you dried plums as a gift after your son is born. She smiles at you during ceremonies. She compliments your child, and every instinct inside you screams that this woman is the most dangerous person in the palace, because kindness here is never free. Kindness is an investment, and the return she expects is something you cannot yet see. You accept the plums, you smile back, and you never let your son eat a single one. You're 27 now, and you've risen to the 4th rank. You have survived poisoning attempts, 2 that you know of, probably more. You have survived rumors designed to destroy you. You have learned to play the political game with the precision of a general. You smile at women you despise. You send gifts to women who tried to kill you. You write poetry for an emperor who has forgotten your name and must be reminded by his eunuchs before every visit. This is your life. Luxury that feels like a prison. Power that feels like a leash. You haven't seen the sky outside these walls in over a decade. Sometimes late at night, you take out a small piece of cloth you've hidden beneath your mattress since the day you arrived. It's from the dress your mother was wearing when they took you. It doesn't smell like her anymore. It doesn't smell like anything, but your fingers remember the texture, and for a few seconds you are not a concubine of the 4th rank. You are just a girl from a village, and that girl feels more real than anything this palace has ever given you. You're 35. The emperor dies, and now the real terror begins. A new emperor takes the throne, the old emperor's son, but not your son. Under some dynasties, this means you are sent to a cold palace, a forgotten wing of the complex where former concubines live out their days in silence. No visitors, no letters, just walls and memories. Under other dynasties, it's worse. Some concubines are forced to follow the dead emperor into the afterlife. You've heard the stories. Buried alive, forced to drink mercury, sealed inside the tomb while still breathing. You don't know which fate awaits you. You sit in your room and listen to the footsteps in the hallway, wondering if they're coming for you. They send you to the cold palace. You're one of the ones who gets to live, if you can call it that. Your servants are taken. Your silk is replaced with plain cotton. Your meals are simple and delivered once a day. You sit by a window that overlooks a garden no one tends anymore. Weeds push through the stone. Your son visits once. He stands in the doorway, dressed in court robes now, looking like a stranger. He speaks to you formally, carefully, like you're a political liability rather than his mother. You understand. Loving you openly could cost him everything. He leaves after a few minutes. You don't cry, not because it doesn't hurt, but because you spent so many years performing strength that your body has forgotten how to do anything else. You think about your mother, whether she's still alive, whether she ever stopped crying after they took you. You'll never know. You were 7 when you left that village, and you have spent every single day since then performing. Performing grace, performing desire, performing obedience. And now, with no audience left, you realize you've forgotten who you were before the performance began. You die in that cold palace. Quietly. No one records the exact date. A eunuch finds you in the morning and reports it the way he'd report a broken vase. A minor inconvenience requiring minor cleanup. Your body is buried in a small plot outside the palace walls. No ceremony, no mourners. The name on the marker isn't even the one your parents gave you. You were 7 years old when they took you, and you spent the rest of your life waiting for someone to bring you back. No one ever did.